Hi everyone. So today we are going to talk about Sir Christopher Wren. He was born on the 20th October 1632 in East Knoll. He studied at the Westminster School in 1641, where he spent 5 years and discovered a real passion for astronomy. But Wren's education in astronomy came first with his father and his brother-in-law. He then worked as a self-taught person during 3 years. During these years, he started to improve and show his skills as an astronomer and above all as an artist by making models of muscles for an astronomist, Charles Scarborough, and pasteboard models of the solar system. He found it interesting to approach science by visual and real models. Wren entered Oxford in 1649 to study mathematics, and he started to invent machines. For example, he built a pneumatic machine used for writing and other things such as stenographic instrument or a special clock. Then he became a professor in astronomy at the Graham College, where he joined a group of scientists discussion, where he developed an interest in natural philosophy, and finally set up the Royal Society to exchange ideas. In 1661, Wren was elected Savalian Professor of Astronomy at Oxford. However, after having dabbled in so many different directions, Sir Christopher Wren had still not found the one which brought him complete satisfaction.
Now, what we have to understand is that there was a complete lack of architectural endeavors at the time. So, Christopher Wren found that he could find a link between his earlier work as a physicist and a sketch artist to design works of formidable size and intricate construction in architecture. He got his chance in 1662 when Bishop Gilbert Sheldon of London commissioned Wren to design the Sheldonian Theatre at Oxford, in which we could find a combination of classical model and empirical modern, very characteristic of the Royal Society. It is also widely believed that during this project he was also consulted on the rebuilding of St. Paul's Cathedral, which is his most recognized work. However, he first needed contact with the European tradition of classicism, so he traveled to Paris following an English embassy at the time. There, he was influenced by Bernini, who is currently designing parts of the Louvre, domed churches such as La Sorbonne or Val-de-Grâce, and chateaux near Paris. He released his first designs for a dome for St. Paul's in the spring of 1666, just weeks before the Great Fire of London ravaged the city. He, along with many self-proclaimed architects, submitted plans for rebuilding the city to King Charles II and his current surveyor of the works. However, none were chosen as a first rebuilding act was passed in 1667, which levied a tax on coal to build essential buildings. Sadly, King Charles II's surveyor of works died in 1669 and Wren was installed in his place. Second Rebuilding Act was thus passed in 1670, raising again the tax on coal and providing a source of income to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral and 52 other churches which had burned down during the fire, along with the monument, a column erected to commemorate the Great Fire. Even though Wren was personally responsible and signed off on all building designs from 1669 to 1718, not all of them were developed by him, but several stand out as his main works. The library at Trinity College, in which we can see an impressive display of Wren's classicism. St. Veda's Church, tall spire, is one of Wren's signature features, balancing the neoclassical style with Gothic elements in church architecture. Hampton Court, one of the residences of the British monarch on the Thames River of London. Wren also designed hospitals. This is the Royal Chelsea, still used as a retirement house for pensioners of the British Army, along with the Greenwich Hospital, which was built in 1692 for pensioners of the Navy. And of course, his masterpiece, St. Paul's Cathedral and its signature dome. It took Wren 3 different attempts before the final model that we can admire today was accepted by the clergy and the king.
Wren's astronomy and his scientific training in general became much more relevant to understand his architecture than has been appreciated before, and understand his theory of beauty, where beauty is from geometry, and of course, central geometry. He died in 1723 at the age of 90. He left behind him a significant legacy. Architecture-wise, even though Wren tutored many up and coming architects, his legacy lies with Simple's cathedral and its dome, many later constructions such as the Pantheon in Paris, St. Isaac's Cathedral in St. Petersburg, and the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. are strongly influenced by Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece.